Welcome to Club 120, the ultimate roundtable for diehard Cubs fans and lovers of all things sports and lifestyle.
Strike three, you're out.
Hosted by Neil and Nate, two former baseball players and coaches turned loud mouths with strong opinions and even stronger banner. Get ready for quick-hitting, time-answer segments packed with wit, laughs, and the occasional heated debate. From analyzing Cubs on-field action to diving into off-field drama, no topic is off limits. So grab your glove, pour a drink, and pull up a seat at Club 120, where the banner's quick, the takes are hot, and the Cubs always come first. Let's get started.
Play ball!
Hello, Cubs friends. It's 120. You know what that means. Grab an old style and a bleacher seat. You're in Club 120. Let's talk Cubs. I'm Nate, and with me as always is a man who knows that time travel isn't real, but jet lag is. What's on today's lineup card, Coach?
Yeah, thanks, Nate. And thanks, everybody, for watching. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking in Club 120, however it is you watch us. We greatly appreciate you guys and can't do it without you. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. This week's episode is a little bit different. We had to record each segment separately because both of us have been traveling. Both of us have been all over the country in about 4 different time zones. I think we've touched every time zone between the two of us, and we just couldn't get things lined up. So we're doing this a little bit different this week, and obviously we are releasing a little bit later than we normally do as well. But thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for watching us. Got a big show this week, and we're going to kick it off with the first topic. First topic of the week is PCA, America's Soldier. Can PCA save Team USA from crashing out of its own tournament? So let's see what Nate has to say about PCA.
Well, Neil, what is there really more to say about PCA these days? It only took 3.5 games for him to be Team USA, simply because he's the only guy that showed up every game to play. I'm not really shocked at this, though. His gravitational pull and energy are unmatched. P.S. It's a little embarrassing that the manager went on his network on his TV show and ran his mouth with his buddies and didn't even know his own rules for his tournament. It's crazy. Get it together, D-Row. At this rate, the Dominican Republic's going to boat race the U.S. simply because they give a damn. And it might be fun to watch.
Yeah, Nate, you're right. PCA does seem to be invested a little bit more than others, but you guys obviously know how I feel about the World Baseball Classic. I really, I did get into it a little bit. I've watched Team USA play every game, and I find myself when PCA is not in the lineup being a little disappointed. But at the end of the day, we were watching, and about halfway through that Italy game, it was like, could they be eliminated? They could actually get eliminated. And selfishly, I keep thinking that this might be the best thing that happens to the Cubs, if we're being honest. Like, these guys get eliminated from their own tournament and then end up going back to spring training, and we get a somewhat semblance of a real spring training for the next 2 weeks. I mean, opening day in Wrigley is 2 weeks from today. I'm recording this on 3/13. Actually, I'm sorry, it's 2 weeks from yesterday. So I would much rather have these guys in camp. But as far as PCA goes, he's giving you exactly what PCA gives you. He's giving you energy. He's giving you effort. He's giving you outs above average. Like, it's all there. He's the total package. And I'm glad that the rest of the United States is getting to see him in an everyday capacity like we get to. And I think that's only going to help his stardom. I think that's only going to help his value. But as far as all that goes, man, I think the Cubs would have been personally better off if Team USA would have been bounced. And I'm not going to get into the manager and how that happened and all that stuff. But I think PCA is absolutely set the stage for the rest of his career and how impactful he can be to a baseball team, and I love to see it. So the next topic we're going to get into is early injuries, real concern or overreaction. Injuries with Hodge, Wicks, Long, all that stuff. Bullpen guys, AAA guy. Nate, let us know your thoughts.
Knock on wood, Neil, but the Cubs injury list is shorter than expected this time of year. Maybe that's just because we've got so many guys spread out in the WBC and they're not in the same camp, maintaining whatever it is. Who knows? But we do have a couple names that we should discuss. Obviously, Justin Steele is on that 60-day DL. He's going to stay there right until it's time to pull him off and start getting some innings for the big club and clear that roster spot at 26. So that's going to be June-ish probably for him. He's ahead of schedule, but then again, those schedules just try to stay as patient as possible, especially with a guy as eager as Justin. Johnny Long looks like he's cleared and should be starting to play this weekend, getting some good ABs, which we missed a few on that WBC swing for him, where he made a business decision for the Cubs and actually in the favor there, where he decided he was just going to sit out a few days and get his body right, his elbow right, and not push it. Now, that sucks because he was looking forward to what he could do there for Chinese Taipei. They did miss him in those first couple of games until their offense kind of woke up over there. But it'll be good to see him back, see if he's got a late push here for that final right-handed bat that the Cubs might be looking for some thump off the bench. Let's talk Jordan Wicks. There's no real timetable for his return right now, which is a little concerning, considering they've diagnosed him as having some nerve irritation. And I believe there's some quotation marks around that. That's one of those that can come and go every time he tosses. If it doesn't feel right, they kind of shut him down is probably the MO on how that goes. And it's just a day-to-day management. Hopefully it's not a long-term deal and we can see him before the end of spring training. But I don't think that was any massive impact on the final 26. I believe that he was going to start in AAA and have that opportunity to take that shuttle bus to Wrigley this year. But I just don't think that he's going to occupy a full 26 the whole season. The one that is the biggest concern, and I'm probably subject to the biggest overreaction here, is Porter Hodge. We just need him to get healthy. He was probably the highest expectation of the group here of these younger relievers that we're going to push for that 26, considering how much impact he has had for the Cubs already. For the last year or so, he's just not been healthy or right. And both of those things are important. So right now, Porter's on a healthy and right mission. And so he's shut down until further notice. Again, no timetable for return there. Hopefully, taking that roster spot off of the menu is something that will help him to focus on what matters, which is throwing the baseball through the Fox box and just trusting your stuff. And to me, this spring, he just didn't look like that kind of kid. And that's what we need to get him back. And the first part of that's going to be health. And he's just not there. So pray for health for Porter Hodge to get back after it. And we'll look forward to hopefully seeing him here in a few weeks. And that's pretty much it for the wrap. And the injuries, I don't see a ton of real concern, especially since Hodge had options too. So there's definitely outs here. We're not really up against it for anybody for true roster consideration. So we'll consider going forward here with maybe another veteran for the bullpen instead of Hodge or Wicks this season to start.
Okay. Yeah. Injuries, man. There's really, Jonathan Long, he's expected to be back. So I think this week. So I'm not really concerned about that one. The two that I really want to talk to are pretty much the two that you spent a lot of time on and the most time on are Jordan Wicks and Porter Hodge. Here's the thing. And I might be the bad guy. Maybe I am. Maybe maybe I play the villain on this show. Who knows? But Jordan Wicks is teetering on that line of this is just who you are. Like, I think that's where we are. I think that's where we might be when it comes to Jordan Wicks. Like, this might just be who he is. I feel like, and I'm sure there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there that could correct me, but I'm pretty sure each and every season that Jordan Wicks has been with the Cubs, that we've started the season or at the beginning of the season, have gone through some sort of these types of issues, and they never seem to work themselves out throughout the end of the year. And it's one of those things that just lingers and lingers and lingers. And then we come back and we look forward to a healthy Jordan Wicks, and it just never really happens. I feel like I've seen this movie before. And as my friend Taylor would say, I didn't like the ending. And so moving on to Porter, man, this is one of those injuries that is he injured? Are we doing that? Or is this one of the get your head right injuries that a lot of clubs use to take the magic get right pill? I'm hoping that that's not the case. I'm hoping that, I hate to say I hope a kid really is hurt, but I really hope it's not, because he needs an adjustment between the ears. I really do hope that this is a injury that is something that he can just get over and get back to work and put his head down. But I'm starting to worry about the mental capacity with the way last year ended and now the way that this year started. I really, really do hope that it's not something between the years. So that's what I got on injuries. The next topic on our list is a new segment that we're going to introduce called 3 Up, 3 Down. 3 players trending up and 3 players trending down. This is going to be a reoccurring segment. We hit maybe once a month, maybe once every other month. So here we go. 3 up, 3 down.
3 up and 3 down. I love it. I can't wait to light somebody on fire this summer and send them 3 down. But for now, let's do a spring edition. Here we go. Gavin Hollowell, number 1 for me on the upside. Giving Craig that funky arm angle and that spin rate that we all crave while he misses bats. Love to see it. Let's get after it. Pedro Ramirez, Cubs spent a 40-man roster spot on him to protect him from that Rule 5 draft, and he's rewarded with a very nice spring, mixing it up at multiple positions, but swinging it every day. He had a massive bomb yesterday. Love to see all that action from these young kids. For me, the third up is going to be Matt Shaw. Hardest thing to do is change positions and still hit. And he's doing that this spring. No matter what Craig asks, no matter where he's at in the lineup or where he's playing, Matt Shaw's got that foot down and that barrel is out. Love seeing it. 3 down is pretty easy for me. Luke Little, throw the ball through the Fox box, dude. Ian Happ, let's wake up in May and June and not see you hitting 208. Pick it up and let's go. And finally, J-Mo. Let's hope his final WBC activities for Team Canada get him locked in, because right now he's on the out, not down. He is down and out for me as far as the rotation. So we're going to need to bounce back from him for the last 2 weeks of spring for him to solidify that spot in the rotation.
Okay, so with the 3 up, 3 down series, as far as the 3 up goes, Nate went prospect heavy. I am going to do a little bit different. 1 prospect and then two of the mainstays. 3 up so far for me, Jefferson Rojas. You guys know how I feel about Jefferson. He is absolutely killing it. Love to see it, and absolutely rolling. It's only a matter of time before they send him back down to AAA and send him on his way. But what we have seen is a bright future for that kid, and I can't wait to see more of it. The next 3 up for me is Dansby. Dansby has been hitting the ball pretty well this spring and making the most of his at-bats and the ones that he gets and driving in runs and doing what he does. I just hope that we are – Craig is comfortable sticking him in that lower spot in the lineup, the 6-7 spot in the lineup, because that's where he flourishes. That's where he flourished last year. That's where he did so well. And I hope he keeps him there, and I hope things continue there. And my last one is Nico. Number 1, because we need to extend him. Number 2, because he's just showing up and doing what Nico does. He's putting the ball in play. He's not striking out. He's driving runners in. He's running the bases well. I love to see that out of Nico, and in the at-bats and the innings he's getting to play. Very solid as always. So Dansby, Nico, and Jefferson are my 3 ups. 3 down. 3 down for me. The one we agree. Actually, I think we agree on 2 of these. Luke Little. Luke has looked just like Luke Little. I think our expectations of him were way too high when we saw him first, and he contributed 2 years ago. And I think he's got a 2-year lease on that apartment in Iowa and has no desire to play for the big club. So that's what I think. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just not impressed at the lack of growth from Luke Little. Porter Hodge, we've already talked about Porter in the last section. It's just not clicking. And hopefully there's some sort of injury issue that has caused this early struggle, and let's hope it's not between the years. And finally, for me, J-Mo. What a terrible spring he's had. He did have a decent outing for Team Canada. So let's hope, as I mentioned a couple episodes ago, let's hope that they were just working on something and toying with something during his spring training outings, and that's not foreshadowing of what's to come. So that's my 3 up and 3 down. Moving on to the next topic. Our next topic is the 2026 Cubs Breakout Candidate. Who is going to be the breakout candidate for 2026?
Well, Neil, the Cubs have a lot of set spots in their lineup this season. But there are a couple of candidates here that we could probably look at in a short pool or in a shallow pool, if you will, to see who's going to be their breakout star. Do more than what they did last year, or just straight be a star. My pick to click here is Miguel Amaya. Love his passion. Love the energy last year, man. When he came back, that was just so heartbreaking. When he fought all the way back, and then he's right back out on the injury list. He's made the changes from a hitting standpoint. He's developed and he continued to do so. And we're just looking for a full season of health at this point. And that's what we're hoping for right now. He shows lots of signs of it. So my pick to click for this breakout is Miguel Amaya. And it's simply because we're going to get a full season of health. And he deserves it. He's earned it. And it's going to be fun to watch all summer long. A couple of honorable mentions for me would be Gavin Hollowell and Matt Shaw. Just simply because of opportunity. Shaw is going to be there throughout the season, and I think Gavin Hollowell is going to be an impact for that bullpen for Craig all season long. So it's going to be good, but let's go Miguel Amaya. Let's break it out this year. Let's be healthy, and let's get after it. Neil, who do you have?
So my 2026 Cubs breakout candidate may seem odd because he's not new. He's not the it's not somebody who's maybe not gone through this before, but I'm going to go with Seiya Suzuki. I think Seiya is going to have a phenomenal year in the outfield, and I think at the plate, I think he's going to have such a great year at the plate that he is going to be considered an MVP candidate come the All-Star break. That's what I think. I think the 2026 breakout candidate for the Chicago Cubs is Seiya Suzuki. I don't know why. I just got this weird feeling that it's going to be a year for Seiya, and it's going to be unforgettable. And I can't wait to be along for the ride. Seiya Suzuki is my candidate for breakout of the year. And finally, for our topic of the week, did the Cubs wait too long to push their chips in? Let's go.
Did the Cubs wait too long to push their chips in? Man, that's an interesting question. A lot of activity says that they've pushed their chips in now. You're right. Let's look back before we look forward, though. 24. We were there. We were in Atlanta at that game where the season died. Cubs were up 7, and Ronald Acuna just took over. Then there was the Seiya drop, and that was the day the season died. But I on that one, I blame the barbecue smoke from left field just rolling over that entire stadium. I can't believe that's even legal. I mean, it was a fog the entire game. I don't blame you, Seiya. I was thinking brisket all night. So the 24 Cubs, I would classify as hopeful at best for that season. 25, we had expectations, lots of them, lots of kids, lots of excitement, everything that was there. But to me, Tom and Jed left us wanting more. And they gave it to us this year. So the question, did the Cubs wait too long to push their chips in? I think that's the wrong question. Did the Cubs hold their cards till they knew they had a winning hand? That's the question the 2026 season is going to answer for me. What about you?
No, I don't think so. I really don't. I think, the old song, I quoted Taylor Swift earlier, who's near and dear to my heart. I think another lyric I will quote for you is, it's a little too late to do the right thing now. I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. I don't think it's ever too late to do the right thing. I think that's where we are now. I think we are starting to spend money. We are starting to look like a major market team that is willing to spend, willing to go out and address issues, and willing to put a product on the field that is going to produce playoff baseball. And I think that's what we're doing. I think that's not what we've been doing the whole time. I think we got a taste of it last year, and ownership and management and whoever you want to say, I think that they have got this taste in their mouth and they don't want to let it go. They love it. They want more of it. So I think that I don't think it's too late. I don't think it can never be too late. I think you might see a shift in how this roster's managed going forward, where maybe we start dealing guys in the last few years of their contract to reload. And I don't think, for years leading up to this, since 2016, we've had one of the top prospect heavy farm systems, and it hasn't produced much fruit. So I think you might see a shift where we go out and spend on guys that have proven themselves, and we let the farm system just be exactly what it is, and that's currency. So no, I don't think it's too late. I'm glad it's starting to happen. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hey, that's all we have for the show this week. Sorry that it's late. I'm also sorry that it's a little weird and we're not in the same room or same screen and all that good stuff. But thanks for being patient. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for watching. However it is you watch us, we appreciate you and can't wait for next week. That's all for us. Go Cubs, go.
This has been Club 120. Neil and Nate have practically spent their entire lives doing something centered around baseball. And with these guys, you're going to get quick-hitting, time-answer segments packed with wit, laughs, and, yes, heated debates. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, you can find us on all social media platforms at Club 120 Show. And, of course, the website at www.club120show.com. Until next time, go Cubs, go!
This podcast was produced and recorded by Vocal Media Solutions. Unauthorized reproduction or redistribution without written consent is strictly prohibited. Interested in launching your own show? Visit vocalmediasolutions.com to get started.